Hi everyone, this is Alexandra from Hear Me Roar, and welcome to Cacao Talk on day 6. And today I want to talk about why it's important to feel your emotions. This is actually an extremely important topic. But first, it's something a little bit more important. Let's take a sip of our cacao. Today I made cacao with lavender and date syrup. I've been noticing with the lavender in there, even though ceremonial cacao already is a heart opener, something about the lavender for me lately has been really helping when I'm having these moments of heavy emotion. And well, today we're going to talk about emotions. So I thought it would be very appropriate, or the feeling was, to make my cacao today with lavender. Okay, so why this is so important. It is so important that you allow yourself to feel your emotions because it's the only way out. It is the only way to evolve. It is the only way to heal. It is the only way to finally allow yourself to live the life that you want to live. Okay. And I'll go a little bit more into why this is. So I'll start with a personal example. So I have two big asks this year. At the beginning of the year, and like everybody else, I like to set a year, the resolutions. I usually sit down with my guides and I say, okay, what are you guiding me? What are you inviting me to experience in this next year, in this life experience? And for me this year, two things came up. The first is to further expand my business, to live my passion, to put myself more out there in front of people so that I can start really being of service. So that was number one. The second is that in this year, I am finally ready to start stepping forward to moving and manifesting my next life partner. So these two big things came to me at the beginning of the year. Now, as the year goes on, right, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months go on, things start to come up. I spoke about triggers in another episode, and triggers and emotions come up as I had set the intention, right? I set the intention at the beginning of the year that I was going to allow myself to move forward on this life adventure and experience and opportunity that my guides had said that this is a good year to do. So as I start moving forward with the intention, all of a sudden and very naturally, I start getting triggered. And there are moments like, it's almost as like the more and more successful, this is personally what's going on for me right now. The more and more that I become more financially successful in my business, the more and more these like insecurities, these old wounds, these narratives that I didn't even know existed, some of the things that I'm discovering that sit within me that my inner child is holding on to, I'm shocked by them. I'm like, I had no idea that was there. I told you guys about the 3 a.m., emotional trigger that I got the other day, right? So I think that sometimes in life, there's, the saying that you go one step forward and then two steps back. Well, I don't think that that's really what's going on. Again, let's go back to life is all about perspective. And so if we allow ourselves to pivot the perspective of what is going on here, we can actually benefit from this and really allow ourselves to know that we are succeeding and moving forward, right? So as these emotions are coming up, I can perceive them as like, great, I had a great financial successful month in my business, and now I'm falling 2 steps behind because I'm emotionally triggered, and now I'm not manifesting clients, okay? That's one perception, right? The other perception could be, I am moving forward just like I knew and I intended to, and now I've come to a pause. Instead of a steps back, I've come to a pause where my higher self, where my inner child, where my ego, again, because I am embracing, I'm loving all of these things. I'm choosing to co-create with these parts of me. I'm not judging these parts of me. I'm not trying to get rid of these parts of me. I am choosing to bring love to these parts at me. So I'm succeeding. I'm taking the steps to move forward in this. And then all of a sudden, this big emotion comes up, this big trigger comes up. Now, this is not, I could, again, perceive it that this is a setback, but to me, it is not a setback. It is an opportunity that inner part of you is telling you, You are doing a great job. And because you are ready for more, we would like to give you more. But in order to bring in more into this, I need to let go. I need to release. I need to empty, right? The foundation of where some of my emotions are right now needs to be reassessed, needs to be reevaluated, needs to be brought love and light into it so it's sturdy and strong for the next layer of abundance that's coming in, the next layer of love, the next layer of clients, the next layer of friendships, or whatever it is that you want out of life, right? So that is how I choose to view it. A great analogy that, or story, or analogy I think is a better word, that I once heard that it rings so true is that a seed grows in darkness, right? We plant the seed in the soil. There is no light in that soil, yet that seed can turn into a massive tree or a plant that produces beautiful flowers. You know, it from this tiny little seed produces this like abundant creation comes out of it. But where does it start? It starts in the darkness. And once it starts to grow, does it just start growing up? No. Where must the seed must go first? It has to go down into the soil. And the reason it needs to go into the soil is that it needs to spread its roots. It needs to know that it's grounded. It needs to know that its foundation is strong enough for it to start growing up and flourish into what it is meant to become. And that's what I feel is going on with us when we ask and we set the intention to manifest things in our lives. When we hit these, we can say challenges and roadblocks and emotional triggers, what is happening is not that you're going 2 steps back. What is happening is you're being shown what in your foundation, what in the roots of where you are living your reality and allowing yourself to live right now, where is there a weakness? Where is there an opportunity to bring nourishment and love and acceptance into, so that that foundation, that root is strong enough to hold this beautiful, abundant thing that you're allowing yourself to become in life. Now, it's not easy. It is definitely not an easy thing, but it is a crucial and important thing. And yes, there is a fine line and a fine balance between feeling your emotions, acknowledging them, and bringing love and light to them, and attaching to them. There's a huge difference in that, right? There's also a difference when we go to our friends and families and we complain to them, because that just sticks us into the narrative. It keeps us in this loop of this narrative of it, versus when we change that narrative internally, or we find someone that we can talk to who can hold space for us so that we can more voice it. It's coming from the intention of, I'm voicing this. I'm acknowledging that this emotion is in me that is no longer serving me, that I have this belief or this narrative in me that it served its purpose. It's gotten me to where I am right now. At least I'm alive right now, and I have a desire to keep living. But this thing that I'm holding on to no longer serves me for the next step, for the next path that I am on, right? And so again, it all goes back to the self-love and self-acceptance, but it's setting the intention that it's being brought up as a way to acknowledge it and view it. Remember, our role again is that of a witness. Our role in our lives is to witness what comes up, to acknowledge it, to love it, to bring light to it, to release it, to transmute it, so that our foundation is strong enough for the next layer and the next thing to come in. So just wanted to share that with you guys of why it is so important to feel your emotions. It is not easy. It is hard. It is heavy. Some things have been in there for years and years and years, but it is so important to cultivate and create a container for yourself, whether you reach out to others that can help you in holding that space or guiding you through it. It is very important, because it's the only way out. You must go through in order to come out. Just wanted to share that with you guys today. Thank you again so much for joining. And as usual, feel free to leave a comment or questions below or any suggestions for future topics for Cacao Talk. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.